Hey guys, welcome back to Heart Breathings. We are towards the end of an 8-part series on the top tips and advice that I have for you after 8 years of self-publishing as an indie author. And if you are new to the series or new to my channel, my name is author Sarra Cannon. I write mostly young adult contemporary fantasy fiction, and I have been self-publishing since October of 2010. In that time span, I have published about 25 books, a little over 25 books, and I have sold nearly 750,000 copies of my ebooks. So what I decided to do to celebrate those 8 years in indie publishing is to give you guys some of my top tips and lessons learned over the course of this, pretty short career, but 8 years feels like quite the milestone for indie since I got in kind of at the beginning. But I hope that you guys have been enjoying this. If you are new to it, like I said, I will link for you the other 6 videos down below. But we today are on video number 7 of 8, and we are going to talk about why you should never stop learning. So even Stephen King, in one of his recent short story collections, whatever his most recent one was, he had this little snippet toward the beginning where he was talking about his writing, and he was like, even though I've gotten, all these awards, I've had this amazing career, I still feel like I'm just a newbie at this whole writing thing. And, I'm paraphrasing him there, but that really struck a chord with me because I thought, I definitely feel the same way. I go back and I look at my first book, Beautiful Demons, and I think, gosh, I've learned so much. And I guarantee you 8 years from now, I'm going to look back on this book that I just released last week and go, wow, I've learned so much, because there's always another level to unlock with our craft. There's always so much more to learn. And it is super important if you want to have a long career that not only feels emotionally satisfying to you, but that is fun and that you continue to challenge yourself and continue to get better, then you need to keep learning. And of course, I am sort of one of those like natural learners. Like, for example, I had friends literally emailing me and calling me when the Harry Potter books came out because they were like, oh my gosh, there's this character called Hermione and she is you, with her hand always raised and always got to know all the information. And yes, that was me growing up, and still to this day. I am a natural learner. I would be in school, I kind of self-inflict school upon myself at all times. I am taking business courses all the time. I'm learning, I'm constantly reading books on craft, reading books on mindset, and trying to better myself. But even if you are not someone who really enjoys learning, I think that one of my top tips for you is to always keep trying to get better and trying to grow in this career. And of course, I am talking about the craft things. So I'm talking about, if you're writing mystery, continue to get better at upping that tension and revealing those twists and writing better detectives or better mysteries that really, people don't see coming, or whatever it is that you're writing that applies. Or if you're writing romance, how can you continue to get better about really putting your heart into that character's arc? Or if you're writing romantic comedy, how can you get even better at making people laugh and surprising them with your comedy? Whatever that is for you with what you're writing, you should always be working to get better at, how to plot your novels, how to pace your novels, how to write better dialogue, how to write better characters. There's always more to learn. And sometimes we learn just, of course, by writing the books, but also, reading new books. Doesn't matter that I've been at this really a lot longer than 8 years, but I've read lots and lots of books on craft, but I'm always still looking for more. I'm always looking for that next plotting book that's going to unlock a new level for me, or another book on writing great characters or strengthening character arc or writing better dialogue. And those things are always there. I'm still going to workshops at places like RWA, and I got to learn from the Michael Haig this year at the RWA YA Day of YA. At the RWA conference this year. And it's there are so many masters still to learn from. And it doesn't matter if you've written 2 books or 200, you can always get better. So on the craft side, keep learning. But with that being said, keep learning on the business side too, because there is a balance here to being a self-published author. You have to be good at the craft. You have to be writing good books and getting better and better, but you also need to be learning the business as you go. Learn the nuances of the genre that you're writing, what makes readers fall in love with that genre. What are the tropes? What kind of covers work best for this? And the answer to that question might be different in 2016 than it will be in 2020. 2020, but continuing to learning better strategies, learning better tactics, learning better pricing techniques, or better ways to communicate with your fans. There's always so much to learn. And we are so very lucky in this digital age that we have things like YouTube and Udemy and Skillshare and, courses and Facebook groups and masterminds and all of these resources at our fingertips that people never had before. And we have the world at our fingertips. So there's never been an easier time to continue learning. And of course, I was just talking about in a previous tip that you can't do it all, and you really can't. But I would love for you to prioritize somewhere in your schedule every 90 days, continuing to grow and to learn more. So always, I almost always have, things up on my 90-day board that are related to learning. So right now I'm in a course called the Blog to Biz Hive, where I'm learning more about how to be a better blogger and how to get better SEO and get more people on Pinterest. And I'm focusing on the business side of that. But I also, on the yellow tab, those are my personal goals. I have some books that I'm reading for personal development, as well as I'm reading the Wheel of Time series. I'm on book 4 by Robert Jordan. And that is something that I'm learning from, because he is just a master at description and multiple POV and planning out this really long series. So I'm learning from him just by reading. So, read, continue to learn in all these different ways. But as a side tip, I just want to add this too. Be careful who you're learning from, and make sure that you know the credentials of the person you're learning from. So for example, don't sign up for a course from someone telling you that they're going to teach you how to successfully self-publish your books if you look at them and you find out that they've only sold 100 copies of their own book. I do know that sometimes the best teachers are not necessarily, the biggest authors or the best of the best, but if someone is going to be teaching you how to do something, they should have some sort of track record of doing it themselves and proving to you that they know what they're talking about. And unfortunately, the more popular indie publishing becomes, the more sort of, I guess you could call them scammers, come out of the woodwork, because they see an opportunity. Because as authors, we're all wanting so desperately to learn how to make a living. And so if they come up with this really great spiel about how they're going to teach you to make $20,000 a month, all you have to do is pay, $2,000, and they're going to show you all these secrets. It can be very tempting to want to sign up for that course, especially if you've been publishing for a while and you're not getting where you want to go. And of course, there are some amazing teachers out there that can really teach you how to run better advertising and how to have better strategies and how to upload your books and how to, all of the things that you need to learn. But my warning to you is just check out that person and make sure that who they are and what they're doing and what they say aligns with what you want to learn and who you want to learn from. So if it turns out that this person who's charging $2,000 for this self-publishing course ends up that they've never really self-published their own books, or they can't prove to you how they got where they got, or it turns out that that course is really all about teaching you how to buy someone's ghostwritten books and then how to market those using Facebook ads, maybe that's not exactly the kind of person you want to learn from, because what you want to do is write your own books. I think that it can be easy sometimes to just want to take advice from anyone out there who seems to know or seems to be having a little bit of success. But one of the reasons I'm giving you this warning is that there are a lot of people out there who want to give you advice, and they don't really have your best interests at heart. And one of the main reasons that I wanted so badly to start this channel, to start Heart Breathings and start getting some of this information out there that I have learned, is because I just started to see a lot of people pop up with really bad advice and bad information. I was in a forum of authors once where, not that long ago, where somebody said, hey guys, what was the best advice you've ever gotten in your career? And sadly, there were many authors in that thread that said something along the lines of, the best advice I ever got for my indie career was that I had to stop treating it as an art and stop thinking I could write the books that I wanted to write. And I had to start treating it like a business. And that if I wanted to be professional, I was going to have to make the really tough choices and forget about trying to be, an artist at this and just stick to the business. And that advice broke my heart, because the truth is, yes, there are some jaded people out there that just have had to, they feel like they've had to turn away from the books they want to write because they couldn't make money doing it. But the truth is, it is not an either or scenario. There is no truth to people saying you cannot write what you want to write. You have to see this as a business, and you have to abandon all hope of this being an art. There is a way to write books that you truly enjoy and truly love writing, and that you can pour your heart into and make money doing it. And I am proof of that, and I have many friends that are proof of that. Now, you can't ignore the business side of it. It would be very difficult for you to just popcorn like 12 different genres and, never coming up with any kind of strategy. We've talked about this before in my series on how to write a best-selling series. Strategy is important. Book covers are important. The business side of this is very important. But if you end up with someone giving you advice and they're telling you that you cannot be, a creative person and put your art into this and write the books you love and make money, those are not the kind of people you want to be listening to if you truly care about your art. And I was feeling very, very passionate about starting this channel because I wanted to let you guys know that you don't have to abandon the books you want to write. You just have to learn to package them, and you have to come up with a strategy that allows you to put your best foot forward when it comes to writing what you truly want to write. But there is no either or there. There's no like, you either get to be creative and get to be an artist who writes what you love, or you get to make money. Those things are not mutually exclusive. That's why I got this quote tattooed on my arm that says, "Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart." And that's why I called this Heart Breathings, because I wanted to help you guys know that you can write what you love and you can make money doing it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it is possible. And I wanted to give you guys that hope. But when you go out there and you're trying to learn how to do that on the business side and on the craft side of it, the art side of it, then I hope that you will pay attention to who you're learning from and make sure that whoever that person is, their values align with yours. So for example, someone who really wanted to learn how to make money as fast as possible, their values may not align with mine, and they may not enjoy this particular channel because I don't really talk about how to make as much money as possible. What I talk about is how to write the books that you truly love and how to organize your life in a way that makes you happy and that gets you through all of this in a sane and joyful way. And so if that aligns with you, then maybe I'm exactly the kind of person you want to be learning from. It's important to keep learning the craft and to keep learning about how to run this business as best as possible. But I can promise you that there is always a way to write the kind of books that you most want to write and still make money doing it. It just might take learning a little bit more, trying some new things, and finding teachers whose goals align with yours. So that is kind of a little soapbox item for me today, but it is so important to keep learning, guys. And I hope that you will take this part to heart. And we only have one more video left in this series. So video number 8 will be coming tomorrow. I hope that you will hit that notification bell, subscribe to this channel so that you'll get notified as soon as a new video comes up from Heart Breathings. Also, I would love for you to hit that like button and comment down below about what is some of the best advice you've ever received as a self-published author or as an aspiring author if you haven't yet self-published. So I hope this wasn't one that was a little bit too depressing, because I did kind of stand on that soapbox for a while, but it just bothers my heart to see people giving advice that discourages you from following your true dreams. Because as we'll talk about in tip number 8, whether or not you're happy doing this is extremely important. So it's very, very important to me that you find a way to be happy and to also make money. So hopefully this will inspire you to do so. And just continuing to learn is a great way to do that. And if you're here on YouTube looking for more information on how to get better and how to self-publish, you're already on the right track. So, all right, guys, that is it for me for today, but I will see you in my next video. If you have not seen the rest of these tips, remember they'll be linked for you down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the last video of the series. All right, bye.